What's cracking, party people? It's your girl Nicole Banister, aka NIKKI BANZ, coming to you live from Marrakesh in Morocco. Today's guest is the one and only Ligons Robinson, and you are here on NIKKI BANZ Live! What up, beautiful people? It is such a pleasure to be here with you all. All I gotta say is this is a vibe. This is NIKKI BANZ Live. Every single Tuesday, I am bringing you exclusive interviews with some of the most incredible, most fascinating, most dynamic entertainers, artists, activists, entrepreneurs, and influencers from across the globe. If you're not following me on Instagram yet, now is the time. They call me Banz, B-A-N-Z at the end, or B-A-N-Z, depending on where in the world you live. And subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Nicole Banister, aka NIKKI BANZ. Hello from NYC, Chrissy and Sway. What's up? We got Charlotte Ruth in the building, Kay Zellag. We got the one and only Ligons Robinson here. We got everybody here, y'all. It's a pleasure to see all of you beautiful people. Welcome to the party. So I cannot wait to have you all here, and I cannot wait to bring this guest on. This is a woman after my own heart, a hooper turned presenter, storyteller, MC, writer. I feel like we're just living parallel lives, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. So I'm gonna have an incredible conversation today with Jordan. I cannot wait. So thank you all for being here. Stay tuned. Keep it locked right here on NIKKI BANZ Live. And I gotta give a couple shout outs. You know, I always like to give my little shout outs at the beginning. Okay, first off, I know y'all are loving this gorgeous hair. Oh my goodness, I've got these gorgeous distressed faux locks that I've been rocking since I've been here in Morocco. Shout out to the one and only Lotus Beauty Lounge in Cape Town, South Africa. They are making sure that my hair is popping. Hey, we keep it on and popping. Lotus Beauty Hair, thank you very much. Now, as you all know, your girl NIKKI BANZ is half Black American, half Iranian. So for the past month and a half, every single Tuesday on this show, I've been shouting out what's been going on in Iran, and I want to make sure that you all are in the loop and keeping an eye on what's happening in Iran. As many of you may know, there was a 22-year-old woman named Mahsa Amini who was murdered in the hands of police for not wearing her hijab correctly. And what this sparked was international outcry over the way that women are treated in Iran, over the freedom of choice, the freedom of expression, the freedom of what to wear in Iran. Since then, the protests have evolved. It's been about 2 months of protests now, and not only are women protesting, but men are protesting, teenagers are protesting, all sorts of people are protesting across Iran. And the latest development is that the Iranian government has arrested 15,000 people and sentenced all of them for protesting against the government to the death penalty. So what we need folks like you to share about what's happening in Iran. Share something on social media, put something out there. This has turned from a civil rights movement and a women's rights movement into a potential genocide. So please share something about what's happening in Iran. We need all of your support. Not only me as someone who is half Iranian, but the entire Iranian community out there. Let's keep eyes on Iran. Let's keep sharing so that hopefully our voices collectively together can make a difference. All right, y'all. Thank you. All right, party people, you know what the vibe is. You know it's time for me to bring on my very special guest, Ligons Robinson. Like I said, she's a storyteller. She's a presenter. She's an MC. She's a writer. She does it all. She is so comfortable in front of a microphone that I'm like, dang, I'm taking notes from this woman because she is so incredible at what she does. And I cannot wait to talk to her. I have to say, here on NIKKI BANZ Live, some of my best interviews are with presenters because they know how to keep conversation flowing. They do this for a living. So I'm telling you, this interview will not disappoint. Shout out to everybody who's tuning in. What's up, Julian? What's up, Carrie? What's up, everybody here today? Mawez19, Arthur Raji, Matt Bags by Audrey. What's up, everybody? It's a pleasure to have you all here today. So thank you for tuning in. So without any further ado, it is time to bring on the one and only Ligons Robinson. Shout out to my boy Sai, who just hopped in, one of my other incredible guests here on the show. And now we're gonna get it live and Poppin' here in Marrakesh, Morocco, country number 8, where I've hosted NIKKI BANZ Live. Let's get it poppin'. You know I like to get a little drum roll going, and I'm gonna bring Jordan on right now. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. What's up, Brew? I see you, boo. Hello, hello, hello.
Hi! Can you hear me okay?
I can. Oh my gosh, look at your gorgeous hair. Yeah.
It is so big today. It just has a mind of its own. I'm just letting it do whatever it wants. That's where I'm at.
Gosh. Now, see, normally my hair is like in full on afro like yours is, but I got the locks right now.
I
so
love
it's not
the
like
locks.
that.
The locks look great. Little distressed faux lock. We love it.
Thank you, boo. Thank you, boo. But your afro is popping. Your smile is popping. The yellow earrings. You just look gorgeous as always, my dear.
I had to bring it for you. You bring the energy. You bring the colors. I was like, these are NIKKI BANZ Live earrings. Like, I have to bring these earrings for you.
Oh my gosh. I'm so honored. I am like just meeting you on IG Live right now for the first time, and I already love you. Oh my gosh.
Thank you so much for having me. This is so fun. I love what you do. I love that you've created this platform to be able to talk to people from all over the world. It really puts a spotlight on technology. Like, you are in Morocco right now. I'm in Los Angeles, and we are able to talk, and everyone all over the world can listen in.
Literally, this is one of the coolest things I think about, like live streaming or IG Live or even Twitch, anything like this. It's like we're able to just connect with people no matter where they are, LA or Marrakesh or Lagos, you know, it's just like we could be anywhere. And so honestly, it is a pleasure for me to have you here on the show. I feel like we are kindred spirits through and through, and I'm just saying, like, it's gonna be an incredible conversation. I already know. So thank you, Jordan. What a treat.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Oh my gosh, of course, of course. So Jordan, I always like to start every episode of NIKKI BANZ Live by basically breaking down how I know the guests who are on my show, because like you said, it is such a diverse group of people from so many different countries and so many different places. And so you and I have never met in person before. This is our first real conversation.
Which I love. Why not?
Yeah, exactly. Why not? This is how we do. Technology brings people together, like you said. But we first connected during an interview with WNBA player Erica McCall. So Erica and I both went to high school in Bakersfield, California. That's how. Yes, so that's how I first connected with Erica. Like, I didn't know her in high school, but I like met her later, like years later. And so I saw you just like commenting, and I just saw you like in the interview. And so afterward, I was like, okay, let me go check out who this Jordan Ligons girl is, you know? And I was like, oh damn, like basketball lover, you know, like host, MC. I was like, oh, I need to know who this person is. So I just followed you. You hit me with a follow back, and now here we are.
Here we are, a story as old as time. I love it. Erica is so great. I've been able to interview her and work with her a few times. She's the best. She's trying to put on for Bakersfield, so I won't talk mess about Bakersfield now that I know you guys have that connection. But as a California girl, you know, I'm from Sacramento, so I can't really talk that much about Bakersfield.
Oh my God.
A bunch of cow towns. That's how we do it in California.
Right. That is so funny. Yeah, I mean, I feel like, so technically I was born in Bakersfield, and then I moved, and then I didn't live in Bakersfield for like 16 years, and I only came back for my last 2 years of high school. So like, that was it. So I've only literally lived in Bakersfield for 2 years. So I don't feel that connected to Bakersfield, even though I was technically born there. But like, when I talk to people from California, I have to disclose that I was born in Bakersfield. When I talk to people in Morocco, when I talk to people in South Africa, I'm like, I'm from LA. And they're like, okay, you know, but in Cali,
you gotta round up. Yeah, you just round to the nearest best city. So that's a smart move.
Exactly. And technically, my parents have a place in Santa Monica now. So I'm like, okay, I can claim Santa Monica.
Yeah, that's a great place to claim, okay?
Literally. Okay, so are you in La La Land right now?
Yes, I am. I am in the Valley, so I
Okay.
was able to buy my first place here in the Valley, which is like a dream come true to be able to say that you own property in Los Angeles. Like, I ain't rich, but it was able to save some coins. But I love it up here, you know, being able to work from home. I'm not in the traffic every day. My poor husband is, but at least it's only one direction. That's my rule. If you're only in traffic one direction, it's not that bad. But LA is great. I mean, the weather, I'm in a sweater right now. It's like 65 degrees. It was 70 degrees yesterday, but it's basically our winter. We're getting prepared for it to be a little cold.
Exactly. Like Cali kind of sneaks up on you with that cold weather, you know, like it's sunny, but then you're
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, it's a little crispy.
Little chill when you step into
Little
the
chill.
shade. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. Well, congratulations on
Thank
home
you.
ownership. That is such a huge deal. We're so proud of you. And congratulations on your wedding. Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, the best day. The best day.
Oh my gosh. We the people, we your fans and followers on Instagram. I was following along. I was like, this is so gorgeous. There's so much love. Like it's the way you and your husband look at each other. I was like, oh, mashallah. This is so
Oh
beautiful.
my gosh. We got our pictures back. I've been looking at them every single day. We got them back probably a couple weeks ago. I've been looking at them every day, crying, watching the video. It
Oh.
was just the best day. I think something we did not, I don't know, we just underestimated the feeling of overwhelmed with love. Like everyone you love in one place, pouring love onto you, talking about how much you love each other, how much they love you. We were just like, this is so much love in one building. We did not know that it was going to be there, but it was the perfect day. And we were just talking about it last night. We were like, we're never going to be able to recreate all of those people in one building. We were like, maybe a baby shower in a couple years, but still not everybody might be able to make it. Like that was the one day where both of our families were all together and we will forever cherish it.
Wow. That sounds like such a special moment, a moment that will live in your memories and your hearts forever.
Forever.
I'm shedding a little tear.
I
I'm
know,
like,
I know. Don't get me going. Once I go, it can't
I know.
stop.
No, but seriously, that's so fantastic. And you looked amazing. And you and your
Thank
hubby just look
you.
so happy together. So we love it. We love to see it. We love Black joy. We love Black love. So you better go, girl.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh. You are so welcome. You are so welcome. And I think the fact that you just had this incredible, gorgeous wedding ceremony and you just got your first place, it's all just like sort of adding up all the things that are happening in your life,
Mm-hmm.
all the things that you've been working for and working so hard toward for so long. Even from what I've seen, you know, just researching and learning a little bit more about you and your background. And I think, you know, when I look back at all the things you've done, there's like a couple things that really tie it together for me. I feel like one thing is basketball and one thing is storytelling. And you've been
Yes.
able to so beautifully merge these two things. So I want to talk about them both and give them both their props because you do both of them so well and then you combine them so well.
Thank
So
you.
so let's take it back to like you being a little hooper. Like when did your basketball journey start? Talk to us about, you know, I'm sure you did AAU, everything. Like talk to us about all like your whole basketball career and journey and sort of how that sparked maybe the storytelling journey and sort of what you're doing today.
Yeah, so I started playing basketball at 5 years old. I have an older brother, which I'm sure you know you can relate. Having a brother, I wanted to do everything that he did, like absolutely everything. So when he
Yeah.
started playing basketball and we had a hoop in our front yard, I was like, this is what I'm doing. And I was on a co-ed team. We were the Lakers way back. We had t-shirts. And I was like, this is fun. I really like this. And as I started, you know, going through elementary school and a little bit of middle school, I started realizing like, okay, I'm kind of good at this and I want to pursue it. Like I want to really dive into it and get better at it. I was always the type of person that, you know, practice makes perfect in everything that I do. So I'm going to, after I do my homework, I'm going to go out in the front yard and I'm going to shoot free throws. I'm going to make sure I'm working on my layups. I learned my left hand super early. So I don't like losing. I don't like being mediocre. I'm going to try to be the best. If I'm going to do it, I got to win. So that's ever since I was a little girl, that has been a part of me. And I begged my mom to play AAU, and all of my friends were doing travel ball and going to LA to play when I was in Sacramento and Reno. I was like, this is professional basketball in my mind. When you're in elementary school, like it's everything.
Yes.
Except for you're paying a lot of money instead of getting paid, but I digress. But it was, yeah, that part. We don't want to talk about that. But AAU, you know, was really challenging because I felt like I wasn't always the most athletic player on the court, but I was very fundamentally sound. Like I was I was always going to have the fundamentals, but there are some women and some girls that were just athletes. Like they were so good and very flashy, and I was like, I'm not that player. I'm kind of short. I really got to focus on my fundamentals. And so I felt like with AAU, I kind of got outshined. Like it didn't become fun because it became a lot about the politics and a lot about, you know, we're in 7th grade and we're talking about college scouts and who's gonna, you know, get recruited. And I'm like, is this how it is? Like, this is so young. And my parents, you know, that's why they didn't want me to play AAU, because they knew that that's the culture of it. But I was able to shine in high school. I was able to be the captain and be on varsity as a freshman and bring the first ever championship to my high school in women's basketball. So, yes. So I had the best high school coach. My dad was my coach in high school. It was a really great experience, and I think a lot of people cling to that, and I was always like, no, I'm about to go play college basketball. Like, high school is going to be in the past. Little did I know, those were the best years.
Wow.
High school was great, and college was back to the politics and back to playing time and favoritism, and really took the joy out of it. And I had to look into, who am I as a person? If I don't play basketball anymore, who am I? And I think that's where the storytelling kind of intertwined with it, because I'm so interested in players, who they are as people. Because if you take basketball away, if you take their sport away from them, they are still a human being. They still have to live their life and do a bunch of things before practice, after practice, before games, after games. So once I started kind of digging deeper into who I was like, well, this is an opportunity to be able to tell those stories, excuse me, of athletes and who they are as people, because I know we've all been through it as lover of sports. If you take it away, if an injury happens, like my senior year of college, it goes away like that. And I was not blessed enough with height and talent to be a professional athlete. I knew something else had to happen for me. So that's kind of how the storytelling element came into play.
Wow, Jordan, this is such a fascinating story, and to see the evolution of you playing and like balancing the politics of basketball with the love of the game, which I'm sure is something that many college athletes deal with, and then especially professional athletes have to deal with throughout their career. You know, to sort of see you try and navigate that and do it at such a young age is just, you know, incredible, really. But that is the type of pressure that competitive athletes face, especially basketball players, a sport that is so so big, so well known, so much on the global stage, getting even bigger and bigger. Here on the African continent, we've just launched, the BAL, the Basketball Africa League, right? It's like the sport is just growing and growing, growing. It's obviously huge in the United States. It's getting bigger around the world as well. And so to sort of see you navigate that at such a young age and then be able to pivot that into sharing the stories behind the faces and the athletes and the glitz and the glam of the Getty images, that we need that. We need people who are telling the real stories and breaking that down for folks. So was it automatic that you wanted to get into storytelling for basketball, for the WNBA, for sports specifically? Or are you just kind of like, actually, I love writing, I love telling stories, I love emceeing, and it doesn't matter what the content is, I'm just going to do it? Or do you have some focus areas that you really are passionate about?
It didn't start that way. I would say
Okay.
I came into college, I knew I was going to be a journalism major, but I was going to study fashion. I was like, I'm going to be a magazine editor at Vogue, and I am going to be, on the runway, front row, Anna Wintour with the fro. That was going to be what I was going to be. And I really focused in on it. I was like, I don't want to write about anything else. I play basketball all the time. I do not want to write about basketball. Like, I want this to be separate. And my professor was like, don't pigeonhole yourself. If you pick the skill of writing, then you have the power to tell anyone's story. You have the power to write about anything. And that was really eye-opening to me. So I didn't want to limit it to just fashion. I started just focusing on interesting people and doing more feature writing and just wanting to interview literally everybody that I could and be able to tell their story, whatever it was about. So the first time, or my first job, was as a magazine editor for a lifestyle magazine. So I got to interview chefs, interview shop owners, entrepreneurs, a little bit of everybody. The only thing that was kind of tied it together was that it was in one city. So it was in LA, it was in San Diego, and for all of our local market magazines. And then I realized I'm the only person here that knows anything about sports. So anytime an athlete came up, I was like, yeah, I'll do it. I'll interview this football player. I'll interview this basketball player. And then I was like, wait a second, I really like this. I feel like I have this connection with them that nobody else can have, because I was able to be an athlete and at a high level in college. So I was able to relate in a different way. And so I felt like they appreciated that, and I appreciated that as the interview was going on. And so that was like a that was like a light bulb moment for me and being able to connect with athletes. And so I got a job at The Ringer, which is a sports pop culture publication that's an online. And I was like, yeah, these are my people. I really like this. This is really great. And they are so good at what they do. emceeing, podcasting, never on my mind. I thought I was only going to be a print writer. I did not think I was going to be in front of the camera. I did used to want to be on Disney Channel. Took an acting class when I was like 12, but I was like, you know, That's So Raven was ending. I was like, they need another Black girl to be on Disney Channel. This is my time.
It could be me. I'm ready.
But yeah, it wasn't until The Ringer, it wasn't until much later after graduation that I was like, okay, I think I need to, the industry is changing, so I need to change with it. And that's kind of been my mindset of like, okay, I need to go in front of the camera. All right, I need to learn how to podcast. I need to be in front of a mic and get more comfortable with it.
Oh my gosh, Jordan, you're like dropping bars right here. I love that you literally just said the industry is changing and I need to change with it. That's the type of foresight that I think so many people really struggle with. And your professor back in the day was absolutely right. Don't pigeonhole yourself, not only just on the content, but also in the type of storytelling that you do. It doesn't just have to be writing. It could be emceeing, it could be podcasting, it could be TV show hosting, all of which you are doing now, which is just incredible to be able to see how flexible you are, and we're able to just like pivot across the different content, as well as like the different modalities of actually speaking and telling stories. And I'm so curious, you know, what is it for you, whether it's writing or podcasting or, you know, show hosting, live hosting of basketball games? I mean, you do all sorts of things. What is it for you about that storytelling, like being able to share what's happening with other people in their lives? What is it that ties all that together for you? Like, why is that so important to you to tell these stories, no matter the modality, no matter where, no matter when?
I think the through line is my love for the game. Like, I truly, truly love basketball. And I love the competitive spirit of athletes. Like, it is something that is so unique and rare. And for everything that you have to go through, for all of the trials and tests that you have to be put through, to be mentally tough, to be physically tough, like, it fascinates me. It is like a whole separate world of being a high level athlete. And so to be able to tell those stories in all mediums, to focus on basketball, and especially women basketball players, like, it's everything. It's to be able to kind of hold a megaphone to something that a lot of people don't always talk about. You know, it's also such a sport filled with Black women who are amazing and doing amazing things that nobody is paying attention to. So if I can be that person to say, like, hey, this woman over here is killing it. She is so good at what she does. I know you're talking about LeBron James. I know you're talking about Stephen Curry, but here's another professional basketball player that is at the top of her sport. Like, there is no other level. Like, she is it. So we need to get to know her. And what does that look like? Yes, there's stats behind it. Yes, there is all the statistics and the analytics on the game, but there's also this person behind, you know, in the jersey that we need to know and we need to talk about. So anytime that I start to kind of ask myself that question, why am I doing this? Why am I just focused on this? I feel like there's more money in medical writing or technical writing, you know, if I did want to do that. But I get to watch basketball for a living. And, like, that is unreal. Like, who came up with that job?
Dream.
That's amazing. So I come back to that, and I come back to the women and their stories and how important they are. Like, they are so important. And, you know, recently I signed on to work with the Pac-12, and I didn't even, you know, I focused a lot of my career on the professional athletes, but now going to college, I'm like, I was there. Definitely not at the Pac-12. I was in the D2, but I was like, I was there. You are in your early 20s trying to figure out your life, but still playing basketball at this really high level, and you're just expected to, like, miss a quiz and then play in a televised game. I'm like, college athletes are something else. So I think that's another thing of just, I want to tell those stories. I want to be like, what's your hardest subject in school? Like, what are you majoring in? What excites you? Like, that also is important.
So important. And Jordan, I'm so grateful for the stories that you're telling, for everything that you just mentioned, because the reality is, women athletes, female athletes, are not getting the attention they deserve. They're not getting the insights into their everyday lives and their lived realities that they deserve. And especially in a sport like basketball, whether it's college ball or the WNBA, in the United States, you are absolutely correct. It is predominantly Black women, predominantly brown women who are going and putting themselves on the line, pushing their body to its utmost physical limits, and then being expected to live everyday lives as women, have families,
Yeah.
and do all these sorts of things, which is so difficult and so challenging. And those are the stories that traditional media is oftentimes not sharing with the world. So when we have platforms like your Spinsters podcast, the Bucket Show with WNBA, it's like, and even your upcoming role with Pac-12, like you are literally telling the stories that nobody else is. And we, the people, are so grateful. Like, just, like, John,
Yes,
you are doing the literally, the DJ horn is all for you because you are doing the Lord's work and we are grateful for it. Like, exactly. And this is literally one of the reasons why I started Nikki Banz Live, because I was like, who is talking to people? Who is connecting the dots across the diaspora from the African continent to the United States to Europe to, the Western Pacific? Who's connecting the dots? And how can we share stories that aren't typically being told? Even for you, Jordan, you do a lot of hosting and presenting. I found like 2 interviews of you actually talking about yourself. I was like, I need to put this girl on. I was scouring YouTube. YouTube is like the second biggest search engine after Google. I was like, I need to find an interview where Jordan Ligons Robinson is talking about herself, and I couldn't find that shit. So here we go. I got you, boo.
Here we are. Thank you. And sometimes it's tough, and I'm sure you're always on the reverse side. I'm always the one asking the questions and doing the research and, coming up with transitions and all of that. So when it's about you, sometimes I get a little shy, I get a little coy, but I have really taken ownership recently of me being able to say all day, and my tagline is, your story's worth telling. Every story deserves to be told. And I have to realize that about myself too. Like, that is true for me. I am a part of stories. I need to share my story just like how I'm sharing other stories, because you don't know who that's going to touch. You don't know who that's going to influence. And that goes the same for my story. So I'm trying to get more out there and share what's going on a little behind the curtain. Sometimes I don't, but I'm trying.
Well, hey, this interview right here on Nikki Banz Live is a phenomenal start. And let me just go ahead and shout it out for everybody who's watching right now on Instagram, or everybody who's watching the rerun on YouTube. If you are not following Jordan yet on Instagram, go ahead and do that right now. Go to the top of your screen on Instagram, click that little white arrow in the middle. You can immediately just go and follow Jordan so you can continue to watch her story, amplify her story, and amplify the incredible stories that she's telling about other people, about other Black women across the world, across the United States. So go ahead and follow the girl right now so we can keep, boosting each other's stories and keep talking that talk. And sharing our own narrative with the world. You know what I mean?
Yes. And if you're coming from my page, make sure to follow Nikki Banz, because look at her. She's amazing. You need to follow her. You need more of her in your life.